What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we're checking out Sabaton Reign of Terror. It's going to be the fan music video one. Honestly, I saw that it had a bunch, from what I saw from like the little preview, it looked like it had a bunch of footage from early War on Terror, which I don't know what it is. Music set to early War on Terror videos, just I really enjoy, so that's why we're checking this one out. I'm also going to be doing Into the Fire, the Vietnam video on Friday. I just decided, you know what, I want to get these two songs done because I've been meaning to check them out for a while. So here we are. Sorry if you were wanting an White Death. If you guys do want it, I will eventually get to it. Yeah, let's jump straight in. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, holy fuck. Oh, I put this shit straight on the playlist. Oh. I love it. This is giving me... Honestly, this song is giving me major Metallica vibes, honestly. That's instantly who I started thinking of when I heard him start singing. I just got instant Metallica vibes, and I love it. Let me go back. You hair ears, oh my god. Whoa, hold up. I gotta go back. I gotta re-listen to that shit. We'll smoke you right out. Oh, that was dope. Missed chance to put pictures / footage of night fighting. Missed opportunity. What? Bernie Sanders? I'm glad he brought up the black gold. Great. I don't have much to say. I just love this. And God, it's so good. With this overlaid with the... God. I cannot be the only one who just loves seeing stuff like this. Old footage with fucking music. And God. Let me go back. Where is it? Like, this photo goes hard. This one, I'm pretty sure is pretty famous. I've seen this photo before, I want to say. Like, it is so good. And then this one, that at 15 with just its belly exposed. It goes unnecessarily hard. I fucking love the look. Makes me go, hell yeah. Some hell yeah shit. Oh, it's so good. F-18, my beloved.
Feet up to feet, mile after mile, allies regaining control. Your cities in ruins, some people in need. Still you go on as before. Feet up to feet, mile after mile, allies returning the land. Hide on the ground as a coward you are. One day we're coming for you. Now you will pay, we'll charge you away.
Was that a reference to what was it? I'm assuming was that about the Saddam hiding meme? Yeah, I doubt it's a meme, but talking about the meme, but maybe that. Also, M84s. Is that what the Kuwaitis called their, what is that, a T60 something? Kuwaiti what do you call it? M84? Yeah. T72, okay. I don't know. A bunch of the T series all look the fucking same to me. M84, so it is a, not to be confused with T84. Okay. T84 is an oplot. So the 84 is a Yugoslav battle tank based on the T72. Still in service in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Serbia, Slovenia, Kuwait, and Ukraine. Good to know. Ooh, where is it? Fucking love seeing old footage of Apaches. Punk Floyd The Wall? Oh, Pink Floyd. This photo, I've seen this photo everywhere before of them in full mop gear. Ooh, M60 still in service at the time. There's the night footage. So fucking good. Like, I enjoyed that so much. Okay, we're gonna jump straight into the history now. I can't wait. Okay, before we start, just gotta say, song was fucking amazing. I love it. Hats off to crap, who's the dude who fucking did the video? Pink Panzer. You made an amazing video for it. Great song too.
Operation Desert Storm was one of the largest international land battles fought since the Second World War.
And our song Reign of Terror is about that battle.
Yeah, it was a huge undertaking with a bunch of nations, huh? The two main ones I know of are U.S. British forces, coalition forces. I don't know who else is actually, like, I don't know for a fact who else was there. Chocolate
between
chip
1980 and
camo.
1988, the war between Iran and Iraq raged in the Persian Gulf. And it was a terrible, merciless war, with poison gas used against civilians and child soldiers fighting and dying by the thousands. The U.S. and many Western nations, among other states in the world, had chosen to support the Iraqi military with money and weaponry, as it seemed that Saddam Hussein, the Ba'ath Party dictator of Iraq, was a preferable ally against the spreading influence of Islamic fundamentalist revolution of the Iranian mullahs. However, the Iran-Iraq war ended in a draw and did not resolve any questions about hegemony in the region. What Iraq was left with was an enormous amount of foreign debt. Its reserves were depleted, the inflation rate was increasing, and the Iraqi financial situation deteriorated to the point where an economic collapse seemed to be just around the corner. A major problem was Iraq's rather monolithic economic structure.
Yeah, that I actually didn't really know about that all too much. I didn't realize that they were I didn't really realize it. I mean, it makes sense, but also at the same time, didn't really think of it as a draw, or I didn't really think about the end of the Iran-Iraq war. I only know about, I'm gonna be honest, I only really know about the chemical agent attacks that they used. Also, I only really know about Operation Praying Mantis that the U.S. conducted after Iran started mining international waters. And I didn't really think about the economic situation afterwards either with Iraq.
It is fully dependent upon its oil output. So, because inter-Arabian rivalry and Saddam's notoriety in the region prevented Iraq from cooperating with others in the region, the only solution seemed to be to sell more oil. Thing is, though, what Iraq was also left with was a relatively modern and well-equipped army. Saddam could call upon a total army of 1 million active troops.
Well, yeah, it wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Iraq at the time have like one of the top 5 militaries in the world? I want to say. I'm sure you guys will let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Whom the experienced and battle-hardened Republican Guard was the most dangerous, and another 850,000 reserves. With 750 fighter jets, Iraq also had the 6th strongest air force in the world at the time. Thousands of tanks and artillery pieces, and officers trained after Soviet and British models made the army a serious threat to its neighbors. One such neighbor was little Kuwait to the south. Kuwait was already a thorn in Hussein's side, as its overproduction of oil helped flood the market and lower prices, to which the Iraqi dictator responded with a series of pressure and threats.
Yeah, weren't they? I'm trying to think back to the Fat Electrician video. Most famous one he's done, at least. Hits OPEC, I think. Like the international, like, selling of oil. Kuwait wasn't part of OPEC, I want to say, during the Iran-Iraq war.
After these failed, Saddam Hussein gave the order for invasion. On August 2nd, 1990, 7 Iraqi divisions crossed the border into Kuwait, overrunning any resistance and securing Kuwait City and the Kuwaiti oil fields. In just 9 hours, Saddam Hussein had presented the international community a fait accompli. Seemingly overnight, all of Iraq's problems were gone. By annexing Kuwait, it would not only pay off its debt to foreign creditors with Kuwaiti money, but would also control 20% of the world's oil deposits.
Ooh, big for them.
While the rest of the world was stunned by Hussein's unpredictability, Iraqi forces marched to the border with Saudi Arabia. Now confronted with the possibility that Iraq might continue its offensive and incorporate the Saudi oil fields.
Yeah, we can't allow that.
As well.
Nope. My oil. That shit mine. You can't do that.
The whole international community got together to act. Saddam's attack against the integrity and the sovereignty of the Kuwaiti state did not only bring about a Western anti-Iraq coalition, it also agitated fellow Arabian countries as well, and even the Soviet Union, busy at the time with what would turn out to be its dissolution, approved of intervention.
Damn, you even got the Soviets to agree with that shit?
Their partners in the region, the UN Security Council made it clear that Saddam's invasion would have direct consequences. Already that month, UN resolutions went into effect, and on November 9th, American President George Bush ordered 200,000 troops to the Gulf, a number that would increase to 540,000. Phase 1 had already begun, Operation Desert Shield. By building a defensive belt at the Saudi Arabian border with Patriot missiles and long-range artillery, the coalition forces from 34 nations could deter any Iraqi attack while still reinforcing and building up. Phase 2 would be Operation Desert Storm. Since Saddam Hussein refused to withdraw his forces voluntarily, he would have to be removed from Kuwait by force. The operation would first achieve air superiority.
F-111s. F-117s.
Systematically destroy Iraqi offensive capabilities, especially from the feared Scud missiles with their potential of launching biological and chemical weapons. On the night
Scud missiles, I know they're, God, God, who was it? SEALs, special forces, special ops in general, would go conduct raids on them. And I know F-117s, I believe, were a big proponent of taking out Scud missile sites. If I remember my first Gulf, this is the first Gulf War. I know more about the second Gulf War than the first Gulf War. I do know that I think it was the first Gulf War that we like steamrolled these fucker in. God, how long was it? It was super short time. How long did the first Gulf War last? Like how long? Nearly 7 months. Oh, it was like a month overall, though. 100 hours. Began with a massive air campaign followed by a ground offensive that lasted exactly 100 hours before ceasefire. That's what I meant. I mean, the actual thing itself lasted longer, but the actual main ground attack was over really quickly.
January 16th and 17th, 1991, Desert Shield turned to Desert Storm.
Now you will pay for just you are late. Sooner or later we'll get you. Don't try to hide in your holes on the ground. Just like an insect before you lay out.
Massive coalition aircraft attacks from the airfields in Saudi Arabia and a barrage of 220 cruise missiles destroyed the Iraqi early warning systems and anti-aircraft batteries. Modern coalition jets with computerized target systems obliterated the inferior Iraqi Air Force and most of its airfields and communication systems. On January 25th, though, Saddam Hussein retaliated by opening the crude oil depository at Nuba Ak Ahmadi into the Gulf and setting...
Yeah, that... I remember reading about this because this was before I was born. But yeah, he just like letting it out into the Gulf, like, and then setting on fire, just fucking horrible, but just ecological disaster. Just like, no, fuck you guys. Like, that's insane. That's eco-terrorism. That's like, what would you call it? Anti-eco-terrorism or whatever?
600 oil production facilities and tankers ablaze. This was a new form of ecological warfare with disastrous consequences for the environment. But it was actually mostly a political statement. Saddam wanted to hit the West where it hurt the most.
Oil.
On February 17th, the battlefield preparations began.
Still really insane that that's what you decide to
the
do.
Artillery bombardments on Iraqi strongpoints and the destruction of the last remaining logistical capabilities took 38 days. Now, with most of the Iraqi Air Force and command systems destroyed, the coalition Air Force
EDA
changed their targets to ground forces. Now,
seeing gun pod footage of shit like that is so interesting to look at. That it's just like, yeah, the amount of damage we can do with just a lot of the time, just a fucking tiny ass screen is insane.
This was a battle
that you see
Iraqi
through a tiny
soldiers
screen,
could
I should
not
say.
hope to counter. At its end, the Iraqi ground forces were weakened by up to 50%, and as many as 4,000 tanks and armored vehicles, as well as 1,000 heavy artillery pieces, had been destroyed. The intense tactical bombing incapacitated many Iraqi units, while the further strategic bombing from U.S. Navy and Marine Corps aircraft off the coast destroyed Iraqi infrastructure. Now, with the enemy weakened to such an extent that only light casualties could be expected, the ground war could finally begin. Way more than half of Iraq's overall strength had been...
Was that the infamous Highway of Death?
...been completely wiped out.
I'm not sure which Gulf War that was part of.
Feigning a frontal attack between the coast and Minagish, the remaining Iraqi forces were tied down all along the Wadi al-Batin.
Oh, was that? Let me go back. Yeah, American... I don't know which forces these are. British, American... I don't know which force that is. Let me open up Wikipedia really quick. Mm. Egypt, I think. Yeah, I think that one's Egypt, because then you got Saudi Arabia down here. Let me turn this off. You got Saudi Arabia down here, America, more Saudis. Egypt, I believe. America, British. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing France or Kuwait on here on this map.
Al-Batin. After artillery punched gaps into the final Iraqi anti-tank barriers, large columns of armored vehicles drove towards the entrenched Iraqi forces on the left flank of the Wadi.
Still insane to me that Marines were still using
the first U.S. cavalry division supported by attack helicopters,
M60s,
while special ops and paratroopers were dropped behind the lines. The morale of the regular Iraqi forces was by now really low. They'd been abandoned by their leadership in trenches for months. They were constantly short of water. They even resorted to cannibalizing their own tanks and vehicles to make lamps and heating equipment for their bunkers. They often offered little resistance after the first shots and surrendered. Soon,
I don't want to fucking continue. We got to keep morale up.
Was achieved, which would be extended to 70 already by the
There's
evening.
France up there.
While the right Iraqi flank was tied down by Syrian, Egyptian, British, and U.S. Marine Corps divisions.
Is that Syria? I mean, I'm not seeing. I mean, in the UN coalition, but okay, so yeah. Either way, he does end up talking about which ones.
A forceful left hook was to punch through the Iraqi
I didn't have to look it up.
Then turn to the east and outflank and trap the Iraqi forces. Counterattacks by the remaining tank divisions of the Republican Guard were repulsed with relative ease by superior anti-tank measures of the coalition forces. The outdated T-72 tank was no match for the main American and British battle tanks, like the M1A1 with its better range, fire control, and armor-bursting ammunition.
And to think the T-72 is still being used today.
Apache AH-64s with night vision and laser-controlled Maverick or Hellfire missiles.
To be fair, you got old as shit things still getting pulled out of fucking mothballs today.
They made short work of hidden or entrenched tanks. In short, it wasn't much of a battle, and 4 Iraqi divisions were completely overrun, more than 14,500 prisoners taken.
F4s and F-16s, holy shit!
The second day began with more air attacks against the Iraqi supply lines near the Euphrates, towards Samawa and Al-Nasiriyah, while the British and American armored divisions further advanced.
Yeah,
the coalition...
the Euphrates, Yarn Hub has done a couple videos where they focus on A-10s that are that did fire missions on there. I'm assuming during the first Gulf War. I'm probably wrong though.
Used complex combined arms operations, and by carrying small lightweight global receivers, High Command knew exactly where their troops were at all times. So the armored left hook continued, while on the right,
that
Marine Corps
Blue Force tracker? I always heard that it never worked, but it should.
Kuwait City. 13 more Iraqi divisions were shattered that day. The third day's advance was accompanied by heavy rain and thick sandstorms. This hampered the advance enough for the still dangerous Republican Guard to act. Now, it was impossible for them to effectively stand up to the coalition forces, not just because of the technology gap, but they were still able to delay the advance with courageous firefights until most of the forces in the east could retreat northwards before they could be encircled. The 1st Marine Division successfully captured Kuwait City Airport and by the evening cleared the capital of all enemy forces. Large columns of Iraqi prisoners were everywhere. By the 4th day, the main battle was basically over. Mopping up operations took care of the Iraqi troops' final resistance until an armistice at 8 a.m. the following day ended the fight for Kuwait. In just 5 days, the coalition overran 33 Iraqi divisions and cleared all of Kuwait from enemy forces. Although they had failed to effectively encircle and eliminate most of the Republican Guard, who had managed to withdraw along the coast towards Basra, they had destroyed most of the Iraqi heavy equipment and taken more than 69,000 prisoners. The overall
Pretty good
aim
numbers
of destroying Iraq's offensive capabilities had been achieved. After 1,000 hours of war in the air and 100 hours on the ground, the coalition had defeated one of the largest armies on the planet, which you can either see as a masterpiece of organization, planning, and execution.
I do. Hold up. I gotta go back. This video.
The coalition had defeated one of the largest armies on the planet, which
that was just that video takes place just after it blew up. You could see. I can't tell exactly what that is. A road wheel,
which
or something
you
rolling
can either
around?
see as a masterpiece of organization, planning, and execution, or as a one-sided slaughter where the technological and air warfare capability was nowhere near on the same level. The Iraqi military
I'd take
was never
masterclass
able
in
to go on the
logistics.
initiative or to strike back with reserves. Everything the coalition did was faster, better coordinated, and more destructive.
I'd go logistics
It was
then.
the dawn
at that point.
of a new age of technological warfare.
Why'd I go down
where
to
computer
such a
and
low?
satellite-aided weapons and electronic devices made an enormous difference. Although this was not the end of Saddam Hussein, nor the threat from his regime, the liberation of Kuwait was a prime example of what the United Nations could achieve if they actually agreed on a course of action, even if it was peace through superior firepower.
Feet up to feet, mile after mile, allies regaining control. Your cities have ruined, some people in need. Still you go on as before.
Okay, Reign of Terror. Now it's interesting when we cover songs that are about more recent history, I suppose. For many of us, living memory. So, well, tell us a little bit about that. About choosing.
Yeah, tell us about it.
It's pretty tricky actually, because we found that whenever we're talking about current events, there's a very big risk of bias thanks to media and everything.
Yeah,
so
there is.
We try
Makes
to avoid
sense.
it these days. I mean, this is back in 2004 or something. We recorded this album, and I don't think we would have done it again, or do something that recent, now.
Okay.
Because, I mean, obviously when we did this then and wrote the song, it was about 10 years since it happened, I would say. It's barely enough time. Usually for us, it feels like it doesn't become interesting or reliable enough until historians have gone through it, until the soldiers have come back and told their stories.
It's often difficult to see its effect until any war, any battle, until years later to see. It may have some positive or negative effects that you just don't see at the time.
Yeah, and also a very important thing to say is to hear both sides of the story, because as something is going on, you are usually going to get media coverage from one of the combatants.
Well,
mostly.
This was the age of televised war. And I remember first with the first Gulf War, when I was living in New York then, and you'd be at a bar with someone, it'd be like 10 or 11 at night. You want another drink? Nah, I'm gonna go home watch the war. And you'd go home and watch it live and stuff. And that was
God, that is a fucking.
You could still do it here in 2003.
That is a term I have heard before, or at least in like media, at least. Of I'm gonna go home and watch the war. I have heard that before. Just strange to think about.
2004, and it is interesting how the perspectives change. And you can see a lot of that with a lot of historiography. I mean, we talked on the Great War, we talked a lot about how perceptions have changed of everything about it over the last 100 years. But what about the song itself?
Oh, a bit of a different, a little bit harder song that we do. And I have a very weird memory about it, because I remember we had a show in Orsa.
Okay.
Very, very small town.
Yeah.
And it was a very small show. And I don't know how long we played, but we were playing in a basement. This must be around 2003 or 4.
Okay.
And we had the music, but we didn't have the lyrics, but we wanted to play the song.
Yeah.
So we pretty much improvised everything.
So do you
That's actually kind of cool.
Happened to go?
I think I have probably, chosen to forget it.
I can see how that goes. But how long before the lyrics did you have the music then written for this?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a couple of months.
Okay.
I mean, we've done it before. We did the song Metalizer the first time.
Yeah, sure.
We did that without lyrics. the first time we did the
I haven't heard that
the
one
song
yet.
Nuclear Attack live.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that
also
one
we
yet.
only had the choir parts, of course, when we sing harmony vocals.
Right.
We had something, and the rest was improvised.
Well, then, can we look forward? I mean, after your next album, the '90s R&B classic album,
Yes.
can we look forward to then to the smoky lounge jazz instrumental Sabaton album?
I would hope so. It would be
Okay.
amazing.
You know, I learned so much just doing this. You know, and I get the news. I mean, this is going to come out, you know, weeks after we shoot this. I get
It does kind of suck that, I mean, like he just said, he's probably not going to do another one, or they aren't probably going to do another one at least for a while, which kind of sucks because I think it'd be super interesting. I understand where they're
the
coming
news that
from.
you're going to do a smoky lounge jazz instrumental album before
We
those
should
people go
ask
home.
these guys what they want, actually.
After this '90s R&B album, because that's definite.
Yeah, obviously. But you guys, seriously, out of all strange music styles,
Yeah.
let's say everything from jazz lounge stuff to R&B to country, whatever it is, or
Or like
hardcore techno,
Gregorian chants.
Gregorian chants. What weird
Gregorian
music
chant
style would you
Sabaton
like to
album
hear
would
a
go hard.
Song done?
I wonder when I think I'd like to see you guys do like a klezmer album.
That would be amazing.
I don't know what that
That'd be
is.
really
but
good.
That
If you don't know
sounds
what klezmer is, just Google it. Look up some klezmer songs.
Oh,
just his fucking reaction just makes me think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Because there's two rules when you see a klezmer band. One, the song is never allowed to end, and two, it has to keep getting faster and faster and faster the entire time. I don't know how they do it, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now, there's the thing: when klezmer really became, you know, different music you associate with different generations. You know, when 20s you had jazz really breaking through worldwide and stuff. You got rock and roll in the 1950s and stuff. Punk in the late 70s. In the 1880s and early 1890s, you know, klezmer was the thing. You know, there would be the hottest new clubs were like Klezmer Club. That'd be an awesome time to go visit.
It's worth to remember as well. That with music and anything else, something that you know, the new hot thing might 100 years ago later be a classic. Or,
Yeah, sure.
It's
Well,
true.
anything. I mean, minuets were the hot thing for a while in the 1700s. Any musical style has had its breakthrough, cutting edge, nobody's done this before kind of style.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's really interesting. All right, well, is that it for us today?
That is it for today. We got off topic, but that's fun.
That's okay. Well,
Yeah,
we'll see you
always
next
love
time
it when
on
they go off
Sabaton
topic.
History.
Bye bye. All right, and here's some cool stuff going. We're gonna do our older albums with the History Channel editions. That's got indie speaking. It's cool as I can't say that word. Anyway, you
I'll allow you. It's cool as fuck. Go check them out. They're all linked below. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. See ya.